Mm-mm. So, there we go. Music going fooling up in here. All right. All right.
They say humans
And
are
we back.
social animals. They can't live alone.
And we back. What's good? What's
You can
good?
live pretty well by yourself.
What's good? And we live.
I tell you,
All right.
it's time
Okay, CJ. Putting in that work in the gym. I see you,
feel so
player.
too well by yourself.
I see you, bruh. Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your man, CJ Kyles, checking in once again, back with another episode of The First Heartbeat with CJ Kyles. And I am glad to be here once again. I was knocked out. I was knocked out. A player was asleep. But it's all good. I'm up now. I'm here with you. And I'm thanking you for being here with me. Should be an interesting show today. And let me go ahead and add this link to the description of anybody who also may want to join. We are going to talk about taking care of another man's child. Now, recently, there has been a lot of things being said around the internet sphere, and specifically, I would like to really talk about. And I wanted to read some of the comments and some of the people's reactions because I was sent a post today, and I just wanted to see what some people thought because I thought it was pretty interesting. So, yeah, taking care of another man's child. So if you a step parent, all that good stuff, holla at me. Holla at me. Join the conversation. Let's get your thoughts on it. But I do have a guest with me right now who's gonna, you know, help with this topic, get the insight, see what they think, and we've had her on before, and I think it should be a pretty good show. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and bring on my guest, Miss Nurse Doll.
Hey everybody.
What's good? What's good? What's going on with you this evening?
Oh, not much. In Colorado, living the dream. You know
Living the
me.
dream. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. When did you get to Colorado?
On Monday. I got here on Monday.
All right, bet. So what's Colorado like? It's been a while since I've been to Colorado. I haven't been there since I've been a truck driver. So, um, what's cracking in Colorado at the moment? Not
It's
your business, but what's the scene like?
no, I'm saying it's cool. Like so far, it's been pretty cool. I didn't realize how hot it got in Colorado. I don't know why I always thought of Colorado as snowy, but I guess that's in the mountains. But it's a pretty,
Yeah,
it's nice. I think
yeah. When I was out there in the summertime, yeah, because it was summertime when I was out there, and it was definitely snowy out. Well,
Mm,
in the mountain part from what I could see.
mm,
But yeah, Colorado. Shout out to Denver. Shout out to Denver.
mm-hmm.
So dating or take well not dating but taking care of another man's child, uh more so inherently you dating, you will start as dating, and if you choose to jump into a relationship, yeah, you're gonna be dealing with somebody who has a kid. So
Mm-hmm.
have you let me start by asking you, have you ever dated someone with kids before in your past?
When you say dated, do you mean like go on a date with, entertain, or actually like be in a relationship?
Okay. All right. Well, let's say entertain. I will say that first, and then being in a relationship.
I try not to
Why?
because I
Let's
don't
break
have.
that down. What is it about a man with a child that's really not you not really feeling? Like what is that?
I mean, well, I don't have any children. And it's not that the person. I mean, I think it's there's nothing wrong with having kids. I mean, I just don't want like for me, like I'm dating for marriage right now, and I don't want a blended family.
Okay.
I don't want to wake up in the morning and half the kids calling me mom, the other kids calling me nurse Dow. I'm mama in the house. I'm mama in this whole house. So I
So,
don't.
would you mind? So, if you did date a gentleman, would it care if they called you mom or not? Or like,
um,
I would assume y'all would be in a relationship at that point if it got to the point to where they were calling you
you know
mom.
what? I really wouldn't. I don't know how I feel about it. It depends on what the state where their mother is. Because I wouldn't want anybody, like, I don't call anybody mom except my mom, because that's a different type of respect. So, like, I only have one mom. So I wouldn't want
Mhm.
to even try to take that role or act like I'm taking that role from anybody. So I mean, I really wouldn't want them to call me mom. But I try, like I said, I try not to get in that situation.
Mm, I feel you
But
on
knock
that.
on wood, it happens. So.
I feel you. I mean, look, so I feel a couple different ways about it. Do I think it's anything wrong with dating um, women with children? No, not in particularly. Um, but also at the same time, I think you have to understand that when you do date a woman with a child, um, there are certain things that come along with that. There are certain responsibilities and maybe certain lines that you can't cross to go along with that. For example, you can't. Well, I don't know. It depends on the connection between you and the kid, but would you be allowed to spank the kid? Would you be allowed to discipline the kid? Do
Hmm.
you got to get approval from the father? Do you got to get approval from the mother? You dig what I'm saying? So it's
Hmm.
just like, and then we see so many bad examples of that, I think, in the media. So that is why so many people are against it. Now, I'm not putting my cape on saying that y'all need to go out here and get with these single parents. I'm not into that business, but would I do it again? No, absolutely not. Is it a bad thing? No, I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think we have to be realistic, because I had saw a post, more so like a video, and this lady said she wanted a man who made a lot of money,
Hmm.
and she was 47, past her prime, with kids, and she didn't want him to have kids.
Hmm.
So how do you feel about that?
I feel like that's her preference, but she got to be realistic. Because, I mean, in this case, I'm looking at it from the male's point of view, because I'm a woman who doesn't have kids. And I don't want to be bothered with somebody else's kids. I just don't. I don't want to be bothered with someone else's kids. So for her to make that demand, she could find somebody, because there's some guys who don't want to have kids, but they enjoy kids. Um, but, she going to have
What
to
do you
find
think
them.
the chances are of a man who's making high fives over 6 figures plus, with no children, that's decent looking, in shape, and all that? What do you think are the chances of a man getting with a woman like this particular woman?
I don't want to get on my Kevin Samuel stuff. It kind of it
No, no,
depends
no,
on what
no.
type of
Bring it,
woman it is.
bring it, bring it, bring it. Let's bring it. Let's do it.
It depends on the woman,
Hmm.
you know. Because I mean, look how many kids, like who got a lot of kids? Shawnee O'Neal got 12 million kids, you know. But I'm sure people still want to date her. Look, Kris Jenner, she had all them Kardashian kids before, she got with Bruce. Granted, she's Caitlyn. I'm sorry, Caitlyn. I'm sorry, but and it didn't work out. But it depends on the woman.
Okay. So you said Kris Jenner, and what was the first one? Shawnee O'Neal.
Shawnee O'Neal, yeah. I
Okay,
couldn't think of somebody who had a lot of kids. I'm trying to think of
let's take Shawnee O'Neal, right?
uh
Okay. Shawnee O'Neal, I don't know what she does. I think she's an executive now, some sort
mhm
of executive for a TV company.
mhm
But okay, so let's take a Shawnee O'Neal who has a gang of children. Her baby daddy is Shaq and everything like that. Usually, now you say you didn't want to get on your Kevin Samuels. Now he's known for saying your baby daddy is the best that you're going to do. I don't know if that's here nor there. I don't know if
mhm
that's true or not, because again,
mhm
I don't really deal with women with children, and I don't really have them in my sphere like that. Not
mhm.
not single women anyway with children. So do you believe that your baby daddy is pretty much the best you're gonna get? Do you believe that?
No, I don't
No.
believe that.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Do you feel like it would be likely that a man that's higher than Shaq, with no children, would take on Shaq's ex-wife?
I think it's possible because she has a little bit of, not I don't want to say celebrity, but she has a pretty high value. See, the woman you talking about previously, I really don't know too much about who she is or what she does or like anything
She
like
was
that.
just a regular. She was a regular
Oh,
caller.
it's a regular
She wasn't.
person.
She wasn't. Yeah, she wasn't famous or anything like that. But so like a woman like Shawnee O'Neal, do you think
Hmm.
it will be? You said you think she could. Do you think it's likely? Do you think it would be likely for her to have to for a man to on Shaq's level or higher with no family of his own? Do
Hmm.
you think it would be likely for her to get with somebody like him?
I think it will be if I could put a number on it, I would say maybe I think that she would be more likely than the other woman because one, she would be in spaces where these high earning men are.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna be at the Los Angeles Beverly Hills Calabasas Yacht Club. She would. So I think
Right.
she's in the arena where she would meet these type of men. So she has a better chance because of who she is to meet these people.
Do
But
you
as
think they
far
will?
as will he
Do you
like?
think they will marry her or just
I
sleep
don't
with
know.
her? Because
I don't
you
think they
know
would
when
just sleep with her.
because she does have. I don't know how many kids she has,
Mm,
but I think she has like what, 5, maybe 6 kids.
I think so. Yeah, and they range in like from grown to,
To
they range.
small children,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So I'm gonna just be
Mhm.
honest. I think it'll be highly unlikely. Yes, she can be in the spaces where these men will be. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? But I think it would be very unlikely that somebody on a Shaq's level or higher than Shaq with no family of his own, I think it would be very unlikely that he would say, I want to marry somebody like that. Not saying that it's impossible because anything is possible, but
Mhm.
I think looking at it from that standpoint, because I think, okay, so this is where I think the communication really gets lost between the whole Kevin Samuels thing and how us men that rock with him feel, because we work hard to get where we are. You know what I'm saying? And then if somebody like myself says, well, I'm cool on the single mom thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool on that. I want my own family. We get looked at as being demonized. But from the position that we're coming from, if we wanted to start our own families, that means every single resource that I have coming to my own family
Mhm.
has to split between your child, because it is your child. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And my child. So instead of my child getting 100% of my resources, your child gets 50%, and now my child is now neglected of 50%. Now that's not saying that it's anything wrong with it, but I just think that people fail to see the how we look at it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Now I have dated a woman with a child in the past, and it was terrible. I mean, I'm not gonna lie
Why
to
was
you,
it terrible?
because I'm a person that likes to go when I want to go. I'm a
That.
person that I don't deal with drama. I don't feel like I don't want to deal with another baby daddy and all that kind of stuff. And I think if you are in a relationship with somebody, it's only respectful to acknowledge the parent of the child, the other parent of the child. Like if I did choose to date a woman with a kid, I would want to have some sort of relationship with her father,
Mhm.
because she needs to know he needs to know what kind of man I am, and I would want him to know what kind of man that I am. You dig what
Mhm.
I'm saying?
Right.
But then it's always that blurred line, because okay, do I discipline your kid,
Mhm.
especially if it's a daughter? Because I put myself in the other guy's shoes. Don't touch my daughter, bruh.
Mhm.
I don't care what she did. You call me. Now,
Right.
is it fair for me to say that, knowing that okay, well, he's in the house with my daughter all the time if I don't have full custody of her? You dig
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
Right.
What do you think about that? Would you, if you were dating a man with a kid,
Mhm.
do you think this kid living under your roof, your rules, you feeding this kid, you are initially the kid's parent? Do you think you would need permission to discipline the child
Mhm.
as somebody who's taking care of the parent, or always run to the mom when the child acts up?
You know what, CJ? That's a super slippery slope And I
Exactly.
almost can't. And I'm gonna. And that's really making me think because, like I said, I just don't consider guys with kids. So some of these things you asked me, I've never even thought about. This is a really good conversation. Um, as far as that, I would feel like it's the exact one of the reasons on that long list of reasons why I don't date guys with kids. Because if you're in my house, like, and you're a child, we're a family unit. I mean, I should have as much parental rights as he does. But I know that's unrealistic because I'm not your mom. You know, so that's a hard one because I know if I had children, I wouldn't want some woman whipping my kids, regardless how much you love their daddy.
Right. All
You
right.
know, especially
All
if
right.
especially if he keep them in rotation. Now we having everybody just beating on my kids.
Okay.
You know,
Your favorite couple says tuning in. Sharika says I feel her on that. Dee, shout out to Dee, who actually brought me this post that I'm going to read you in a second. She says I am not dating nobody daddy. That part of my life is over.
period, Dee. Period, Dee. Because don't nobody got all this. I almost cussed. I ain't got time. Oh my God. Period. Big period.
Don't do the guys like that. It's some dope men
Ooh,
out here with children. I know some personally. Shout out
I'm
to my
sure they
homeboy.
are.
Shout out to my homeboy Ray Jones. Ray Jones got a gang of kids. No, I'm just playing. Ray Jones got some kids, man, and he's a dope dude. But I get it though. I get it being on both sides of the spectrum. So
Yeah.
let me read you this post and let me read you some of the comments because sometimes this stuff can become quite comical. Um, it was the post actually went viral,
Hmm.
and this lady, it's a woman, she's a lesbian too. She says that dating with someone with kids when you don't have any is really settling for less. She says settling for less, and I thought that was interesting because to say you're settling for less, that's a pretty bold statement. And some of the people were not really feeling what she said. Like one person said, factually, it's not. So another person said, let's see, they're not gonna like you for this. Another person said it's an ignorant post, but but let you run into a nigga with a bag and kids. All of a sudden, y'all are Ray Ray and Kayla's boy, girl, and boy, mom. But he did make an interesting point. But before I get into his point, let me ask you: would you feel like that's settling for less, dating a man with a
Oh.
child?
Oh, we got
And
to
once
check.
you,
Okay.
yeah, and
Okay.
once you answer that, I want to get into his point because he did make a good point that maybe some people are failing to see. So,
Who about Ray Ray and Girl Dad, Girl Mom?
right.
Oh yeah, we got to touch on that. But no, I don't think it's settling for less because I think that implies that if you have children, you're less of a desirable. Hmm. Well, you're not a good. You're less of a person. But I would just say it makes you to some people a little bit more undesirable. And
Yeah.
they're not settling for less, but they would be settling for what they don't want. They don't want.
Okay.
They know they don't want that lifestyle. Them dating a person with kids would be them, selling for something they know they truly don't want.
Okay. All right. Bet. Okay. So here's now I'm gonna read his post again. He said this is his comment. He said this is an ignorant post, but let you run into a nigga with a bag and kids, and all of a sudden y'all are Ray Ray's and Kayla's boy, girl, boy, mom. All right. So here's the point that I wanted to make.
Mhm.
Here's the point that I want to make. It is very different when dating a man with a child. I would feel like because if you're dating a man with a child that has money, it's very different to most women because I see a lot of women that date men with children. Some don't, but I see a lot of them that do. And if he has money, he can afford to take care of you nurse dial and his kids with no problem. I think that totally shifts the dynamic. You
It
dig what
does.
I'm saying? Now, when you think baby daddy, I think most of us think that, oh, he's broke on child support, blah, 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 blah. That's the first thing that comes to mind. That comes with baby mama and baby daddy drama and all that
Hmm.
good stuff. So when you do have an individual you know, and I know I'm gonna be called a hypocrite for what I'm about to say, but when you do have an individual, a male, a man who is grinding, who got a lot of kids, that makes a lot of money, I still think he is just as desirable, if not more desirable, than a man. Well, I ain't gonna say more desirable because I think that depends on personally the woman, but I don't think that kills his place in the market. For example, if you got a guy who's making $200,000 a year, can take care of a family and a wife with, and I'm talking LA dollars. So that's probably about $400,000 out there. If he can do that, take care of a wife and children with no problem, take care of you and your kids, would that then change the dynamics of the how you felt?
If high earning, yes. I'm not gonna lie. And I actually have Miss Michael tell all my business.
Hmm.
But I recently met somebody. And mind you, I like every usually the first question I ask you is, you got kids? Because at the gate. But
Yeah,
this
that's my first
person,
question.
it was like shouldn't have said okay, because he was in a Bentley. All right. He's driving a
Hmm.
Bentley.
Hmm.
I'm gonna keep it true. I was gonna say it was just something about me. It was the
Yeah,
Bentley. I'm like, okay. So,
get your money up, fellas. Up, listen,
okay.
money is king. Money is always king, and
It
people
was
like
the
to act like
Bentley.
it don't. But money is king. You can, if you listen, I believe in getting in shape and all that stuff. But if you
Mhm.
got your paper right, you can pull you almost any kind of woman you want. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was like, okay, Bentley, and then he was like, very much so. It looks like a rapper. Um, so he asked for my number or whatever. So we been like kind of hanging out and stuff, and then like finally like it was kind of just like, how many kids? Because he had a chain and literally had five little faces on it. I said, oh,
Mm,
please let them be your nieces and nephews.
no sir, no sir.
I was like, oh, that's an interesting chain. What's that? He gonna say, oh, these my kids. I got five kids. When I say something almost died inside, but it didn't die inside like it did back home. If I was back home and Mr. Taquan down the street with his five children working at
Hmm.
the Ford plant, which ain't nothing wrong. Ford is good. My mom worked for GM for years. Anyway, he worked at the Ford plant with his five kids. For one, I would have kept walking. Like like
Mm.
I
But what if he was like
driving
a
this car.
general manager in a Bentley or something like that, balling?
Who?
Can take care whoever Taekwon working at the fort.
Well, I mean, he's a regular, like he's a regular earning guy, like this person that that
Oh, okay,
I'm
okay,
talking, yeah,
okay,
So
got you.
I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie, yeah, but but you still got to think of how toxic this person may be, because I think he might be. I ain't gonna tell my business, but anyway, yeah. So I think that does make a difference, like money. They don't call me a
Money.
gold digger.
Well, I
I'm
can't be
telling the
mad
truth
at
though.
I cannot be mad at a woman for wanting for wanting a man with a child.
Hmm.
But I mean, I'm sorry, I can't be mad at a woman for wanting a man with money. I mean, that's her choice.
Hmm.
But only thing that is she worth the asking price? And I think that's something we have to take into consideration too. Like that one lady who I was telling you about that called Kevin Samuel show. She said that she wanted a man who made high six figures and no kids and look good and all that stuff. That's fine. She can want what she wants, but
Hmm.
does he want you? Does that type of man look for you? Somebody who already done had her children, who's older. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Likely no. Not saying that
Right.
it can't happen, but likely no, it's not gonna happen. Let's
Right.
get into some of
You know
the.
what, CJ? I want to
Go ahead. Go
also
ahead.
touch on the guy. But one thing about it that gives me apprehension, regardless of the Bentley, regardless of what he does. I'm like, five kids, and you gotta ask the breakdown too. So how did you get these five kids? Do you have five baby mamas? Do you have like what happened? You got six baby mamas. How did you get these five kids? So like he was married, and he had four in his marriage. They got divorced, and then he had the rest of them with like a long term relationship. So it's like you kind of think about case as a woman. I think about case by case basis. Normally I wouldn't, but that's also he was in a Bentley. But I also think about the fact like, dang, am I gonna be the next baby mama if I mess with him? So I'm kind of like I ain't gonna really take him too seriously. 'Cause I don't want to, for me, I do want to get married. He did show in the past that obviously he was married before for quite some time that he is capable of marriage in some sense. I don't know how great it was. I don't know his business, but then I think about that too. Like, if I mess with
That's
this
a
fool
good
with a whole
point.
lot of
I'm
kids, I'm gonna
glad
be
you
a baby
brought that
mama.
up. Actually,
Hmm.
now do you? Okay, now when you talk, you said you do want to get married and everything like that. Let me first ask you: this guy in the Bentley, was he your type physically? or was the very first thing that attracted you to him was the Bentley?
No, he was very attractive. But I usually like dark skinned guys, and he was light skinned. That's why they're making them statuses. Like I'm switching sides. But
Okay.
no, he was very attractive. Like he was attractive and just like dressed nice. And I'm just like, what dang. Like,
All right.
like you
And
talking to
if you
me?
don't mind me asking, what can you tell me what he does for a living? Or
He owns
you don't have to.
dispensaries
You don't
out
have
here.
to. But what'd you say?
He owns dispensaries out here in
Oh, that's the
Colorado.
business. He's a businessman. All
Yeah.
right. And see, that's exactly what I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because a man who's on his grind, who's getting that paper, he can take care of you. Therefore, he still has the options in the same place in the sexual market value that a man without kids would have too, unless you just are a woman who that is something you will not give on, is a woman with kids, which most women don't adhere to that. But because if the right person comes along who has all the right resources, most of them change their mind. Most, not all, but most.
Hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. This guy is still in a place where he can take care of his kids. I don't know his pocket. I don't count other men's pockets, but I'm assuming that he could probably take care of you if business is booming the way it is. So that's appealing, right?
Hmm.
Right. So, and I thought that was a good point. I just got something else across my desk that my producer just sent me. Let me see. So I'm just gonna read this to you and freestyle it. I was gonna pull it up on the screen. Um,
Oh, Didi is spitting some facts right here.
yeah, I'm about to put all the comments up. Let's see. Your favorite couple says money changed the conversation. Didi says,
Mm.
first of all, I just can't deal with these bitter baby mamas. Men don't be controlling their baby mamas, acting scared, especially if you don't have any. It's hard. Your favorite couple says your first impression is everything. Didi says if a man had kids before you enter his life, you will never be the first priority, married or not. Wow.
Didi.
That's a good. Now that is a good segue. I was gonna bring this up, but let's talk about that because beforehand, before I bring this up, can you ever be number one in a man's life if he has children? Do you want to be number one? And I think all women want to be number one in a man's life, no matter what they say. But let me ask you, since you're here, do you want to be number one? Do you
Yeah.
want to be the top priority?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
All
do.
right. Oh, and we got somebody else coming in on the stream in a second. When you say number one, top priority, what do you mean by that? Do you mean top priority over his career, top priority over his social life? Like, what do you mean by that when you say number one?
I mean, as it pertains to, 'cause like I said, I ain't telling them I'm 29 years old. I kind of travel a lot, so like we talked about a little bit before, like how I just get up and go to Colorado. I would really like my partner to be able to at least visit me and not be a thing for like where it would be like, oh, well, I can't because I got the kids, or I can't do this 'cause I got the kids. So more so, I guess social life as it pertains to like dating. Because I
Mhm.
wouldn't expect, I'm just dating somebody. You should, I wouldn't, don't put me over your career. I mean, it depends on what. 'Cause my career is very important to me, but I've never really had an opportunity or a situation where I had to put it over one of my partners or anything. Um, and they wouldn't ask me to, and I wouldn't ask them to. If that kind of answers the question.
Let me ask you a question because I have a theory about nurses and I
Oh
have
Lord.
a theory about women acting in general that make a lot of money in their dating lives. Um, I feel like it's very difficult for women who do make a lot of money, particularly nurses, to be
Hmm.
satisfied in relationships. And here's my theory. And nurses, don't get
Hmm.
mad at me. I'm one of you,
Look at
but
they bones.
I do see it from a different perspective.
Mm.
Nurses make more than I will say your average nurse, average bedside nurse, not talking California dollars or anything like that, probably makes from anywhere from 75 to $85,000 on average. On average, 36
Mm.
hours a week, blasey blasey split. I think when it comes, oh my bad. I think when it comes to dating with nurses, first of all, they are naturally bossy because they are in a boss position, supervisor position, right? Because
Hmm.
you're constantly delegating things for people to do. Most. Secondly, you make more money than the average man, and most women want the highest option. And Brianna, I see you. I'm gonna bring you in a second. Um, how do you feel about that? Could you date a man that made significantly less than you?
I have, and I made a conscious decision to not do that anymore. I'm not dating any man that makes less or equal to what I make. I would like to date somebody who makes more. I actually just had a situation, my last relationship. That was the situation. Um, and I
Now,
just
is
don't
it
want to do it
because
anymore.
now? Okay, now is it because that this man, um, maybe he didn't couldn't do the things you do as far as like resource wise, or I don't know, like what? Why is that? Because I'm asking that for a reason because I want to
Hmm.
bring it full circle.
I think it intimidated him. Like I intimidated him. Like, and he tried to. We did pretty good for a minute, but after a while, I guess he just felt like since he wasn't earning the same amount, or like anything comparable to what I was, he just felt less than. And I never treated him as such. And he told me, "Oh, you never treat me crazy, but I just got to get his excuse for in the relationship was that he needs to get his finances up." That's what he said.
Okay,
Yeah,
so my next question to you would be: do you realize that majority? Do you realize was this guy black? Was he a black man?
he was. Yes.
And you do realize that black man, the average black man makes $45,000 a year. That's
Hmm.
average. And I'm sure it's probably, honestly, probably less than that. But for the sake of conversation, let's just say that's the average. If you
Hmm.
go look up the demographics, now the average white man or all other races is like, no, the average white man is like $45,000 a year. If you know that you are in the top 10%
Hmm.
of all earners as a woman, out of men and women. You know what I'm saying? Because only 9% of women only make $75,000 plus a year. That's
Hmm.
9% of all women. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like, so the other 91% of the country make less. How do you think it's practical to find a man making so much more money? And if you do make him find a man that makes that much more money than you, um, do you understand how many other women want him? And that is what I feel like Kevin Samuels tries to get across. But do you see that? Do you see the
Oh
challenge
yeah,
in that?
most definitely. You have to. It's most definitely. I do kind of, not to tell all my business. I do kind of date like
Right, right, right.
more so athletes usually. So I understand. And my biggest one reason I can say that a lot of those situations with those people did not work out is because I'm busy. I'm not available. But guess
Hmm.
what? Homegirl who just as fine, probably skinnier, um, ain't got a job, very much so available. And she's probably gonna end up with him before I would, because I just get unavailable. It's been times where like they'll be like, oh, they'll send me a flight or whatever. Hey, come such and such X, Y, and Z. I'm on assignment. I can't. I'll
Mm,
pay you. I'll pay you your daily. No, I need to work. So then so we have a good conversation. Kind of form it's more so a long distance relationship because I'm always over here and they're over there. They come visit me or whatever. But after a while, I'm unable to give that high earning man at that point what he needs. He needs somebody available,
mm.
very
You-
available. So
That's and
they
see that's the
love you to death.
clash.
And I
That
usually
is
stay friends with them because they love you to death. I wish you just wasn't you. Like you can't never come around though. Look, I still talk to most of them. Like I never ain't no bad blood. It's just it never
right,
really
right.
goes that
Sure.
far. It never
Right,
goes that far because I'm unavailable.
right, right. Right. And see that's always the clash because when you're dealing with a woman who is a high earner, she's typically into that work mindset.
Hmm.
And to a lot of men that are also as high earning as you or more, it comes off as sort of a turn off. You know what I'm saying? Because we want your time and your feminine energy
Hmm.
and your presence. And that's why I always say it is difficult, especially for nurses, because all the nurses that I know typically work a crazy amount of hours, you
Hmm.
know. So, but usually 90% of them are single. And then it's just I don't feel bad, but it's interesting because they always 9 times out of 10 they always want a man that makes more than them. And from the nurses that are married that I see that I come into contact with, their husbands make less or they stay home and they
That's
are
true.
miserable and
That's
they
true.
dog them out
Hmm.
like crazy. So y'all walk a crazy balance. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
very
Y'all walk a
true.
crazy line as far as like the romantic department. It's like one, you would like to be taken care of, but you still got that hustle in you to where you just can't quite let it go. So it's like, when do you draw the line? So let me get back to some of these comments.
Yeah, and it's really
Um,
tough because and I see that all the time. You like, oh, wait, it's very rare a nurse be like, oh, my husband, he the top neurosurgeon. It's always
right.
like, he the trash man. Well, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's a respectable job, but they always do earn less. And my issue is I can't because I don't like to be. This is my thing, and I'm sorry I could cut you off. I feel like in my life, in my work life, in my career, all I do is dominate. When I come home, I want to be the baby. I want to be submissive. I want to, tell me what you need, and that's how I am. So I
Mhm.
know I don't want nobody doing me like that. Like, I don't know, it's weird.
It's no, I
When I
get
come
it.
home,
That's
you
you
know what I mean?
being a woman in your natural state, but I'm sure
Yeah.
it's probably hard for you to turn it off, right?
No, it's not hard. I do it like this.
Okay.
Because it's like I have to turn on my career. Like I think a lot of women are in like similar positions. It's the opposite. So I don't want to say I'm just so different, but I feel like it's the opposite where they have to turn off their dominance for their husband. I turn on my dominance for my job, for my career. So
Mm,
in my relationship, I do not want to be dominant. I do not want to be the man. I do not want to wear the big drawers. I do not want the big piece of chicken.
mhm. Okay.
So and that's a hard thing to do because, like you said, most nurses like they run into like beta men or sigmas. I don't mind a
Mm.
sigma man. I don't mind a sigma
A Sigma man, well, if
man.
you ran into a Sigma male, you probably would get no time because a Sigma male don't care whether you hear, well, most alpha male, all that stuff, they don't care if you here nor there, if you come or go. But a Sigma male really don't care.
Oh, I thought it was a balance. When I read it, I thought it said like a sigma male, he's able to basically like, okay, let you, be yourself and be a dominant person. But let me draw you back in. Like I thought that's what it was. Like
For what
he'll
I
be
saw, and
caring
we
and
could go back
supportive.
over that in a second, but from
Oh,
what I
okay.
saw, Sigma males are males who don't care what anybody thinks, who don't need the company of anybody, like
Oh,
at
I need to
all.
re-look that up. That sounds
Yeah,
like my
from
ex.
what I see, but we can always go back. Let's see. Let's see. Your favorite couple says biblically the kids should come second. Didi, LOL. Biblically the kids. Okay. Didi says a man that has kids first feels like they will always be there and you can leave. All right. I guess that's in reference to like the baby mama. Uh, Didi also says it should be God, wife, kids, but because you came later, their mental cannot see it that way.
Hmm.
Your favorite couple says that's an immature man. Expectations must be set up front. Hell, LOL. The King Jean says, all due respect, she needs a beta dude. How you feel about that?
Oh, no, I don't. The King Gene. I cannot. That would. I've had them before, and
What was
I
your
lost.
experience like being a dating a beta male?
I was dating a girl, and I've actually dated a girl before. That's why I can compare.
Okay. All right.
I'm not gonna say I don't want to make them seem girly because they're not. But if I'm a person with my personality, I need you to, I mean, I can tell me to shut up or something. Like just like give me that look. Like okay, I know. I need to be able to respect him in a powerful way. Like like you run this. And I feel like with that male, and he had a pretty good job. And he was a nice guy. He didn't have no kids, but he just was very so like no meek a little bit. Like
He was timid.
yeah, timid. Thank you. That was a good word.
Your favorite couple says A3 being available, providing attention, and is and your attitude is so important for a man. So being available, providing attention, and your attitude is so important for a man.
Okay.
Um,
Good advice.
I agree with that. And I in my life, I've come to see that I
Thank
don't
you,
mind.
Dee.
I don't mind. Hold on. Didi says she needs a real man that's about his business, that's on his grind. She wants to be spoiled.
Thank you, Dee. Thank
That's
you.
fine. But
That's
listen, do you realize what comes with that though? Like what comes with being spoiled, that's on the grind and everything like that. And that is the point I try to hammer home. Do you realize what that takes, right? To live a life to where if you never want to have to work again, you don't have
mhm.
to. You dig what I'm saying? Like, do
I
you
wouldn't
realize,
like that life.
huh?
I
But
wouldn't
you want
like
to
that
be
life.
spoiled. You
I
want
do,
to,
but I know I wouldn't like it. That's why I'm just chilling. That's why I got to get a job because I'm just
right, right. And you know, and I'm not mad at the women that do want to be spoiled and everything like that. But I think a lot of them fail to realize what that actually takes. He says, how can he spoil her if she's never around?
I didn't say I was never around. Right now, I'm never around, but I'm also not trying to be in a relationship with anybody. But
Mm.
I mean, do you want me to follow you to work? I mean, should I not have my own life? I mean, I do know women who have high earning men, and they have high earning jobs also, and their husbands do spoil them.
What are the chances of that though? How like is that you know, how probable is that? Because a woman who's making high earning numbers, they're
Hmm.
really not around much. You know what
Right.
I'm
I
saying?
can name five in my circle right now.
In your circle.
Yeah.
And that's great. You know what I'm saying? I'm not denying you at all.
Right.
But a lot of women don't have that option. I'm gonna just keep it real. A
No,
lot of
you're
women
right.
don't. Yeah, a lot of women don't have that option and don't have that and are not that lucky to be around a high earning man who is willing to for her not to be there. You know what I'm saying? When he needs her. You know,
Hmm.
because it's almost like it's the battle of the masculine. You know what I'm saying? You working as hard as you do and making what you make and all that kind of stuff, it can come off as masculine. You dig? But it's survival for you. This is how you eat. And I get that part of the game. But if a
Yeah.
man said, you know, I want to take care of you, I want you to be my wife, my long term girlfriend, whatever you want to call it, I want you to stay home and I want your priority to be me. I'm going to take care of you. You don't have to want for nothing. Only
Hmm.
thing you need to do is be in this house, not be in a house like he got a leash on you, but
Right.
take care of this house, stay in shape, cook, clean. Could you do that? If because that's what a lot of these guys want. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Um, I don't care if my girl works or not, but she needs to know that her priority is this home first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So could you do that? Could you stop that grind for a man who says, "Listen, I like you.
Hmm.
I want to be with you. I want to marry you. All that good stuff, whatever you want, but you gotta cut this work out. I need you to work
Well,
from home. I need you to
well,
figure out
liking.
some way to work from home."
I do. That's why I'm here in this hotel room. But technically, I'm just here like for a short period of time. But I transitioned from working from home, mainly because I want to settle down and have a regular life, and I'm getting long in the tooth. Um, I think the man, whoever I'm going to be, for one, let me answer more than one question. You said like you in marriage. Now, if you
Okay.
like me, you don't ask me to do nothing. If you like me, you can't ask me to make any life changing decision. I just like you,
Well, if
and
he
I want
loves
you to
you, if he
stop
want
this.
to take, if he want to marry you, if he want to marry you, if he want to
Hmm.
be with you for the long term, and he said that, hey, I want you to cut what you're doing out, and I need you to figure out how to make money from our house
I will
versus
stop traveling.
right, right, because money talks, and
I
his
will stop traveling.
resources, and he got it. He can definitely do it. You know what I'm saying? So okay, all right, cool.
Hmm.
Didi says she can be spoiled when she's done grinding. It's called compromise. It's called compromise. Yeah, but the thing is, and I get that point, but is that man always going to be there and wait?
You know what? Also, I want to say, in these conversations, and I'm just trying to see, I'm seeing how this going. It always seems like why we got to be the ones who is that man gonna want this and that and this and that.
Because the way,
Because
and I'm glad you asked that because what men see, especially men that make that kind of money, and I have conversations with these guys a lot with who I work with. The things that those type of men want, y'all don't want to say. Like we want two different things in each other. You dig what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
Because a man usually doesn't come into his own until he's older. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare for somebody that's 30 years old to make high five figures, six figures a year. That's rare, extremely rare. You know what I'm saying? I'm an anomaly. But to somebody that's a older guy who's making good money, he wants a woman, her beauty, her youthfulness, her
Hmm.
womb, all that stuff. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
That's what's important to
Versus
y'all.
y'all, because like these men typically don't date older women, and
Hmm.
that's why when you just ask that question, why is it that the woman always got to sacrifice? Well, because we don't look for the same things that you do, and honestly, women are on a different schedule biological wise. You know what I'm saying? If this man is
Hmm.
an older man, he's worked hard. I'll bring it back to this. When you were in high school, right? Let's say we
Hmm.
went to high school together. We roughly the same age. 9 times out of 10, the girls would tend to date older men.
Always, yeah.
And we didn't understand that as being as a high school guy, as somebody
Hmm.
who's 16 years old. We thinking like, well, damn, like why we can't get with the girls who, not saying that you couldn't get with no girls, period, but well, what is it about? Why are these girls just dating these older guys? We don't find out until we're older because they have more resources. They have
Right.
more
They
to
have money.
offer. Not, and I'm not co-signing no pedophilia, nothing like that. But
Yeah.
when I went to King, it was girls getting picked up by college dudes. Like, I'm
Sure
gonna just keep
was.
it real. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Hmm.
They were getting picked up by college dudes, and not saying it was right, but we have to understand that at the time, 16-year-old, a high school student don't have much to offer a 17, 18-year-old girl who's finna graduate, more so than a 25-year-old man can offer. You did
Right.
what I'm saying?
No, I
So
totally get it. But the thing also is with this quit your job and be up under me all day, you got to think about how reliable that is. Like we all seen waiting to exhale. So I mean, at the same time, y'all saying like as a man, y'all want different things. We want security, but you got to make sure your security is secure. So
yeah,
I mean, I feel like we still, you know what I mean? Because people, could switch up one day and then I mean, you're screwed. Almost cuss, sorry.
I agree
You
with you.
know,
That no, that
so
I do. I agree with you 100% right there. I think it's important to now. Listen, I'm not saying you
mhm,
should not know how to not make money. You did. You should always know how to make money. Like if my girl not working, she in school, she doing her thing. She should know how to make some sort of income in case something happens to me. You did. So I'm not saying that, but still, let me see. Let me get to some of these comments.
yeah, because I want to ask him a question in the comment. I want to ask more
Let me see.
so King Gene. 'Cause I know he said I need a beta male. Um, so you have a good headshot. I like your headshot. I'm trying to look at his headshot. So King Gene,
Okay, let me see. Let me pull up King Gene.
because
Let
he
me
said
pull
he
up.
has quite a few kids
Let me
here.
see. Hold on. It's compromise is for the family as a whole, and not for an individual career. Didi says it's so funny. If you day drink and shop all day, you a gold digger. But if you grind and still want to be spoiled, it's wrong too.
Hmm.
Well, yeah. Well, it's a gold digger to who? Because if your man is say go day drink and shop all day, that's what your man told you to go do.
Hmm.
So who's the gold digger to who? If somebody gives you the black card, if I give you the black card and I say go drink, go have fun, go shop all day, that's your business. That's our business. To the outside looking in, you may be considered a gold digger, but you
I
ain't a
think
gold
that's what she's
digger,
talking about. I think that's what
huh?
she's talking about. I think she was talking to in reference to what King Gene
Okay.
said. Yeah.
All right. He said it's not wrong. But the adjustment needs to promote a stronger future. Is that fact? CJ Julius said I had a girlfriend with 3 kids. I was
Ooh, child. Then how you let them go? Do you just stop speaking to the kids after a decade? Do you just kind of be like, you see him at the grocery store, you just like,
he
I ain't
said
your daddy no more.
I was stepdad of the deck. And Brianna, I'm about to bring you in. Uh the King Gene says I got you by one. God, 4 kids that wasn't yours. Did y'all have kids? King said I did that for 15 years.
Oh, we. And do you still talk to the kids? Because I'm gonna let you know, you ain't be
Ooh,
talking to my kids. Why would
Lord
I
have
leave
mercy.
you?
Didi says she just haven't met somebody that she trusts enough to take care of her. Yeah, I definitely say choose wisely. Let me bring in
Mhm.
Brianna. Brianna, can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you.
What you
Hey,
doing? You
Brianna.
making a trap run or something? What you doing?
No, I'm on my way home.
Okay, so Dating with kids. Let me just get straight to the point with you. Could you date a man who had kids?
No,
No.
no, 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 no,
What?
no.
Why not?
Well, number one,
How old? Let
I'm
me ask. How
young.
old are you? How old are you?
I'm 22, and
You're 22.
I'm young. Um, a lot of people around, my area, my age, they do have kids. Like in my
Wow.
area, it's a small town,
22.
and it's kind of rare to see a guy who don't have kids. So,
Wow.
with me being young, no kids, as you know, I am a student. No, I did that one time in my life, and that was it for me. I said, oh, no, 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 no. I beg your pardon. Never again. I will never do that again. It was a
Okay, so what
girl.
was it? What was it about? What was it about that
What you doing
situation
here?
that made you say no?
Okay, so number one, the baby mama drama. Like, every guy who have kids just don't have this issue, but he unfortunately came with baby mama drama, and that was like, the extra ticket for me to go on my business because I'm not, into that. And number
Mhm.
two, like I said, I'm young and I want to experience, see different things, and trying to plan like a little trip with all my friends and just get everybody together. And I brought it up to his attention, and he's like, "Oh nah, I got my son this weekend that you gonna be going, and I need a dude who, if I'm planning something, I need a dude who gonna be on my type time. Like, all right, we can plan this, we can go, get up and go. And I feel like a guy with kids, you know, he can't do that. He can't do what I do. Like, I don't have that serious type of responsibility, so it's kind of different for me versus him. Oh, I got my kid. Oh, my kid's sick. I can't do it. We gotta cancel. That's not for me.
Mm, mm.
Hmm.
Lord have mercy. Let me get to some of these comments. King Gene said, "Nah, bro, two are mine." So, whew, two are his. That's great. Didi says, "I was a stepmom to three." Lord have mercy. My God. Nope, I can't. I don't talk to those kids when them signatures hit that dotted line. Oh well, deuces. My God. Julia says, even after we broke up, oh God. He said, even after we broke up, I still looked after the kids, but I had to stop because I needed all my resources. I stopped being simp of the decade and got on my purpose. Hey, Julius, I appreciate you for being honest, man. That's crazy. Because had it when I was stopped, I was like, bye, F you and the kid. So,
Lord.
um, King Gene says, I raised a set of twin boys until last year. They are now with their father. Oh,
Mm.
okay. All right. Okay. King Gene, you should call into the show. You should call into the show because I'm putting the link right there, King Gene, in the comments. You should call into the show because I need to hear what it's like from a man from a position that did raise a child and no longer is raising that child. And
Mm.
now after you don't raise a child up, they back with their daddy. Gotta be a rough thing. She says I agree. King Jean says I agree with her. Dee says everybody got a good co-parenting relationship until they realize you are better influence on their kids than they are.
Oh, we.
Wow, man, I didn't. Y'all really put me onto some ism right now because my stint dating a woman with a child was very brief. So, oh wait, I skipped Jocelyn's comment. Shout out to Nurse Jocelyn in the building. Jocelyn says, I won't never date someone with
Never.
kids again. I'm 29 and my fiance is 32 with no kids, and we both don't want any. I hear you. Me and Didi on the same tip. First man I ever was with without kids. My God. Game changer from a woman who doesn't want any and over 25 years old.
Mm.
My God.
Preach.
My
I'm
God.
telling
Woo,
All right
Lord.
now.
Jocelyn, you can call in too. I'll put the link down in the description.
you, Jocelyn, preach.
Uh King Gene says, good deal, Julius. She also says, and my ex kids was raising kids 5 that wasn't his. What?
Oh, so he done brought somebody else. Oh, that's too much. I ain't gonna raise
What?
everybody's kids now. You gotta raise his kids and somebody else's kids who he done took in. Oh no. Oh
What
no.
the?
Oh no.
I can do that.
Mm-mm.
I can't do that.
5 kids that ain't yours? Oh my God. Okay.
No.
Julia says, Dee, that was ultra facts. No, wow. 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 All right. Okay. So shout out to the fellas for chiming in and giving their experiences. So let's see. Okay. Nurse Dial. Let's get back to you real quick.
Uh-oh. Hold on. There's something.
So do your views change as time goes on? I heard you mention a couple of times that you're long in the tooth. were you and you said it, you brought it up. So does your view change on dating as the tooth gets longer?
As I approach 30, yes, because I realized that, like, kind of like we were saying, certain men, they want them younger. Okay, like, older men, as we get older, you know, they're pretty much, especially these men that we're talking about, they're most likely want the 21-year-old versus the 31-year-old.
Now,
I'm
okay,
29 now. I'm 29 now. We're gonna make sure we don't call me 30 because I ain't
I
30
got
yet. We're
you.
gonna make sure 29.
Now, okay, so what about the man? And I'm gonna ask Brianna the same question in a minute. Now, what about the man who is, let's say he is a GM at Walmart and he makes 45,000 a year, but he's a great man. He'll take care of you. Well, as much as he can, as much as his resources allow. He's just a good man, but he's average. The only thing about him is that he's average. Would you be willing to take an average man who treated you like a queen?
Why you gonna ask me down this camera?
Because I want the fellas to understand. I want the
No,
fellas to
no,
understand
no,
the
no,
perspective.
no,
You couldn't do it. Why not?
no.
But he treats you
Because
like a queen.
no, I would never know because I never get a chance to get treated like a queen by him. I wouldn't. It wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't know. That's a conversation you have. Hey, what you do? Oh, blah blah blah, this and this. That. Oh, okay, cool. You working? Where you working? I work at Walmart. Blah blah blah. This. Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. All right. Hey, I'm not mad at that. Brianna, I'm gonna ask you the same question as a 22-year-old woman. Could you date a man who treated you well,
Thank you, Didi.
gave you everything that you wanted, but he just happened to be an average guy who made an average salary at Walmart, like a GM or something like that? And average to my average fellas, I don't want you to think I'm crapping on you, because if you choose to be average, it's nothing wrong with that. But from your standpoint, I don't want to be average, but it's nothing wrong. We not crapping on you for that. But yeah, Brianna, could you do it?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, that sounds better. So my question to you is real quick: is he staying average? Like, is his plans to stay a DM, or is he the
He's
GM?
perfectly fine with where he's at in life. He's the GM at Walmart, and he's perfectly fine with where he is at life. Are you okay? He has a 401k set up. He wants to retire. I said Walmart. Yeah, Didi asked me. I say Walmart. I said Walmart. I really meant Sam's Club because when I used to push carts at Sam's Club, them GMs was getting like $40,000 a year. And to a 19-year-old, that was a lot of money. So, but yeah. So yeah, he's perfectly fine. He got his retirement through Sam's Club, Walmart set up. But that's what he does. This is what he does. But he's a great man. He'll treat you right. He don't cheat. None of that stuff.
Dang, you got me on heat on cheat. It's hard to find a faithful. Dang, that's hard. I'm going to say. I'm going to say. It's hard because I do the average men. Because I told you on the last time why I do the average men. It's hard, but
what's okay. before you answer, let me just ask both of y'all this. I'm so glad y'all here. What is wrong with the average man? What is it about the average man that is not attractive to you? The average man, the average earner. And you know,
Average.
I promote being above average. I promote being the best version of yourself. So I'm so glad we got women here who can co-sign some of the beliefs that I say. So what is it about? And we not crapping on the average guy, fellas. If you are average, that's fine. But
No.
I'm asking the women. I need to ask the women, what is it that they're not feeling about the average man? What is it, Miss Nurse Doll?
It's the lack of ambition for me. Because I mean, what I'm thinking about it as like what Banna said was very was spot on. What she said, does he have plans to elevate
Marcus, I
or
see
what?
you. I'm gonna add you in a minute.
But
Go
I
ahead.
also think me and Brianna are we talking from two different, age spectrums. I'm almost 30 or whatever, and she's on the younger side. So she, that guy at her age, he might be the GM. That might be pretty good for him. And he might want to do something. But it's just a mediocrity for me. I don't like it because I've never been a mediocre person. Every time I do something, I excel in it, and I want my partner to be the same way. And no, it's just mediocre. And nobody want. Okay, when you go to okay, so when you go to the to the Wendy's or something, right?
Mm.
Do you tell them they got a special or whatever? Do you want just the average? I want an average chicken sandwich. No, you want the spicy with this on it. You want the you don't want no
That's true.
dry chicken sandwich. I don't want no dry chicken sandwich.
I
I don't
I
want
hear
it.
you. I'm mad
But
at
what you
you.
doing? And we 30. What you doing? You 30. We 30, and you at the Walmart.
Mm, mm, mm.
You had just as many years I had to do something,
Mm.
and you decided not to. So that's not a person that I'm compatible with, and that's in anything because I believe that carries over into your regular life. You don't want to elevate, period. So how about in our relationship? Are you gonna want to elevate our relationship? Like, what if something happened? You just cool with this 2 bedroom apartment? We gonna stay here forever too?
But what? Okay. Now you say he doesn't want to elevate. What if this man worked his way up through the ranks at
Well,
his job at the Walmart?
he need to be trying to get into the executive at the Walmart. He need to talk to the
Mm.
Waltons. That's what he need to be doing. Finding his way, doing something, setting himself apart from the other general managers at Walmart nationwide, and getting to an executive spot in Walmart. That's what he needs to be doing. But he don't want to. He want to stay the general manager.
Mm. Mm.
So this is my
Look,
thing. That's
Diddy
my
out
thing.
there
So
talking
look,
about he need to be trying to own it.
okay. Because look, he done worked his way up. So okay. So you know what you need to do. But that's where you stopped at.
Okay. I ain't mad at that. Brianna,
Period.
same question. What is it about the average man that is a turn off for you?
Like she said, the lack of ambition. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you the GM, but do you plan on being the CEO one day? Like, you may have a 2 bedroom, but do you plan on moving that into a bigger home, like being a homeowner? Like, I mean, me personally,
Mm.
I just
Okay.
think I
And
don't
that's
like the
great.
man that's stagnant. You know what I mean? Like, if I meet you, I don't know why this elevator stuck. What we doing? Sorry, y'all.
You stuck in the elevator, y'all. Look, you better get you a high value man so you ain't got to go through all that stuff. Okay. And I'm so glad y'all say that. But I want to say this again. Do you know what comes with that? What comes with that man? And that's why I need to hammer this home because it's easy to say what you want, but do you know what comes with the because listen, it's women out here that's fighting, shooting, and stabbing for dudes that work at Taco Bell. And I'm not crapping on the Taco Bell workers.
Mm-hmm.
What I am saying is that a man with all that, a man who does make 6 figures, a man who's in shape, a man with no kids, do you truly realize the type of options that he have, and are you willing to compete
Yes.
with his options? Are you willing to compete and do what you
No.
have to do to remain in that position?
I will be in that
Styles
position.
says yes.
Because
Brianna, you say what? You say no?
No, I don't want to have to compete with a whole bunch of other women and
Then you don't want a high value man. I mean, that's just real. You don't want to. You don't want the Walmart worker. Maybe what you should get, but I'm telling you, even them they getting chosen because it's rough out here. It's survival out here of the fittest. I'm about to read these comments and I'm about to bring Marcus in. Let's see. Let me scroll back up to the top. Yeah, I appreciate y'all. Hit that like button too, by the way. I appreciate that. Okay. Julia says CJ got us confessing all our sins. Nah, I ain't got you confessing all your sins. Jocelyn said, no, it's a setup. Don't do it. I don't care how average you are. No. Boy, y'all not gonna just
I
crap
mean,
on the
also
average fellas
too,
like
I
that.
gotta think about it. You know, I talk to my dad about this often, and I feel like, okay, if I'm hypothetically, if I'm talking about buying them like buying something luxury, and then like he's like, oh well, you know, I'm just cool with this used little piece of thing right here. We might not be on the same page, so that may be the downfall of dating somebody that's not really close or on like your level, if that makes sense. No shade, but I'm just
But
saying.
but Brianna, my question to you is, and I get what you're saying, but my question to you is the competition. What is it about that? Because you don't want an average man. So in order for that man not to be average, he has to go out and compete every day for his resources. So why don't you want to compete for that man who is on his grind?
I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not really a big fan of competition. And I know you're gonna chew me up because of the
No,
girl
I'm
let's
not
get
gonna chew
into.
you out. No, never. I
But
would never do that. You want what you want. But I'm just trying to bring a different perspective as a man who goes out here and gets it every day. If somebody, if I
because I
gotta get
think
up
like if a
and
man has options, I don't want him to treat me like an option. I
Most
want
it's
to
of
not
be
the
y'all
fact,
option.
option.
it's not the fact that he's treating you as an option, but the fact that he has them and you have to work to keep your spot. See, people say love is unconditional. I disagree. Everything has a condition and everything is transactional, if you ask me. But let me get into King Gene. King Gene, what's cracking? I think he done muted himself, y'all.
Oh, yeah, I just think it's all just on
What's
there.
going on, brother?
What's cracking? How you doing? Thank you for tuning in to the show, man.
Oh man, ain't no problem. Look, I apologize, man, for bum rushing your comments like that, but
No, you good.
saying,
I'm glad. I'm happy
saying.
that you're here, man. Go ahead. So, how do you feel about the topic so far? From what these ladies are spitting about the average fellas, how do you feel about that? And then we gonna get into your kid situation because you were the one that helped raise some twin boys, and they went on with their daddy somewhere.
They did.
How do you feel about what these women are saying about the average man?
Well, now I tell you what, I can understand where they're coming from, but it's like a lot of things that they're conveying from me, being an older gentleman. It sounds like they're coming from a place of fear. I could be wrong.
As far as what fear? As far as what aspect? From what aspect?
As, as far as being able to trust that an individual can come into your life and take on the responsibilities that come with taking care of you and making sure that you're okay and doing it consistently. I
Right.
hear a whole lot of fear as to whether or not you can find somebody that's on their page. So I think that's where you're speaking from.
Okay. Okay, ladies, y'all want to respond to that?
I think I agree with half of what you said. I think it's not more so problem of like finding that person. It's a fear of like me. You know, we see like I said, like waiting to exhale. One day, all of a sudden, look, and that happens. That happens to a lot of people. It's these Instagram models, and you're fine as wine, but you ain't got no job, and you know all this and everything. And then all of a sudden he tired of it. He found somebody else who's 10 years younger and fine too. Now you sitting there, you looking crazy. Now you 10 years older. Now you gotta go see a person at Walmart because you ain't had no job. So I do have a little bit of fear. Now you gotta see the general manager. You gotta go down to the Walmart and go
Oh,
see Mr. General Manager
oh,
because
nurse
he didn't
style. Don't
job
do
there for
them like
somebody
that.
else. Yes, you do.
Don't do my
That's what happened.
don't do my Walmart players like that.
That's yes, you do. And but honestly, I can say one thing about the competition aspect that y'all are bringing up, and this is how I kind of understood what you were saying when you say compete with other women. I mean, I can just say when I do go on dates, when I went in the past, people who I've dated or whatever, I always made sure I was the baddest woman in the room. You can't just be coming out there with no flip flops and your hair all over your head and looking, because he wants some arm candy. He got, like, and a lot of people, a lot of those guys, they ask about, like, I can say average me, I can say average, but the guys who are not on that side, they ask about my career. They might just ask, like, what you do? Oh, okay. They don't care. They just want you to look real good, look good and be available
Don't
and do
care at
what they
all.
need to do
Could
and
care
take care of
less.
home. They
They
don't really
making
care.
conversation.
You
could
know
care
what I'm
less
saying?
what you do. He wouldn't
Right.
care if you flip burgers at. Listen, I used to tell Didi this all the time. I
One told
wouldn't
me you
care.
sound busy as hell. That's what he said. I met a football player, and he was like, "Well, you want to go out right? We can go out right now. So I go to work." He said, "You sound busy as hell." I'm like, that's what he said at one time.
Yeah, because if you bring a man peace and you look nice and you make him feel good, he don't care if you work at McDonald's. To be honest,
Show don't.
most men with money do not care about yours,
Mhm.
nor your degrees or anything like that.
They
And
don't.
they nice. They're
And they be
nice.
shy.
You know,
Some are shy. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm really proud of you." Most women like, I'm like, yeah,
yeah,
but they be proud. That's very very notable. However, that's not what I need you for.
exactly. I'm glad you
So
understand that.
that's why I mean
Brianna,
by competition, you do have to be like, I mean, in that situation, because it's gonna be somebody who looks just as good as me or even better than me, and 10 pounds lighter, who is very available all day.
that's willing to do what you
Yeah,
want to do. And that's why I was telling you, Brianna, like, and I know you're younger, you're probably not thinking about this, but I think you should think about it, because if you decide early enough in life that, hey, after working so hard in nursing school, I do want to live a life of luxury. I do want to get taken care of.
I do. I
This
want to
is
live
what
nice.
comes with the territory. If he, you know what I'm saying? Even because, like I said, it's women out here fighting over Taco Bell workers, dudes
Mhm.
making $8 an hour. It's survival of the fittest out here. You dig what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Yeah.
it is, and that's just the reality. Let me see if I can get into some of these comments, man. We popping tonight right now. That's your old comment. King Gene says competition is the name of the game. Didi says you're gonna have to compete even for the average man.
True.
Child,
Yes.
please.
That's how.
You won't find me.
um,
I
how much
tried. I
money
tried.
gets you?
Couldn't
How
do it.
much money gets you over the average status?
That's a good
Um,
question.
well, the average person makes $40,000 a year. That's average. So anything above that is above average. Now, that can be relative, or that can go leaning towards where you live in the country, what part that you're from, what you like to do, and how your lifestyle is. But if you're talking average earner makes $40,000 a year. Nurse
That's
Jocelyn
wild.
said, on the other hand, I had my fiance quit his director of operations job, 6 figures, to stay home and run my business, and what not so. So I don't know. I see a lot of role reversal as a nurse. Yeah.
Oh,
Now we talked about that earlier. Um, I don't know if you missed it, Nurse Jocelyn, but I said a lot of high earning nurses and nurses in general tend to be very masculine because they're always in a boss position. They always have to delegate. And to me, that's not appealing because I'm not into that, but that's just how some are. Um,
you know what's funny about that, CJ? Too. I always laugh about it. We used to work at a nursing home.
mhm.
Me and nurses, I always had the same little joke. It'd be always the person working in the kitchen. It'd be the janitor. It'd be one of the CNAs who always wants your number, and it's never the CEO of the hospital.
Yeah,
I'm like, what? I'm like, here come this little man to clean the floor. He cleaned the hell out of my side of the hallway. I'm like, what?
absolutely.
I had to tell him to stop. I was about to fall one day. I'm like, you got to stop mopping on this side of the hallway. And it's always never the CEO of the hospital.
No, because and, I mean it's a stereotype and it's not always a good one, but y'all come off as masculine. A
Do I
lot of
come
the
off as
nurses I know.
masculine?
No,
Yeah.
not you. Not on
Oh,
here.
he said I
But,
do.
but not on here. But as far as like your work life and everything like that, it comes
Uh,
off as extremely masculine. And a lot of the nurses at my job, they're masculine, and
King
that's not
James said I'm a
attractive
man.
for a lot of men who are out here on the grind. Like we
He
don't we
said
don't.
I'm manly.
No, I don't mean no here. I mean in my experience with dealing with nurses. Now I know I have an aunt that's a nurse. I have a sister that's a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
I have an aunt that's a nurse.
Oh, he
So
had family for nurses.
I'm surrounded. So uh
Very.
I have to
Are they married?
well my sister is and my aunt is.
Do they run their husbands?
Absolutely. And try to run me.
Mm. See, I would if I was single, I would never date a nurse. I would never do it. She would have to be very extraordinary, but I personally would never do it. And I'm not crapping. I love y'all. Y'all know I got love for y'all, but I just would never do it because of what I've seen. It's too no. It's a clash. You know what I'm saying? Like, and some can turn it off, but I tend not to go that route. But
Uh-oh.
Melanin Mama says hello. Shout out to Melanin Mama. Dee Dee
Hey.
says 6 figures or more. Hey, Melanin Mama. No super chat, my dude. Not yet, man. That's why we got to get these watch time hours up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all tune in, man. We almost at 1,100 subscribers, y'all. So y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Um, Dee Dee says start now because when you're getting older, it start getting hard. Yeah, you better take heed.
What she say?
Man
Start now
nurses
with?
are a different breed, very leaderish and bossy. I actually think it's hard to date a nurse. My dad done got it all. My dad didn't get it all. Yes, girl. He called us men. Ha ha ha. Yeah.
Oh, Miss Jocelyn, that ain't what I meant. No, I just mean the masculinity is absolutely there because it's like CJ mentioned. You have to the position
Delegate.
that
You
you
are
take
always
on.
in a constant position of supervision. So
Right.
that is just something that grows naturally within the person, especially the longer they are in the position. So and for some people it's hard for them to turn that on and off. So that's what I'm saying. We're not saying that you are men, but a lot of y'all, not all, but a lot of y'all tend to come off as extremely masculine.
Mm.
But great show. I wanted to bring up this post. Actually, I'm gonna try to see if I could share the screen because Dee Dee had sent me this earlier today. So, and well, not earlier today, but a few minutes ago. And I'm gonna see if I can share the screen on it. Um, she said, "Man, nurses are a different breed." Hey, because we supposed to be bossy. Shoot,
Mm-hmm.
we supposed to be. Um, let me see. Let me see. All right, all right, all right. Let's see if I can just copy it into this ID.
I want to say we all in your DMs.
Right. I ain't got nothing to hide. I ain't got nothing to hide. All right. So let's see. Let me see how it's looking. Y'all still can't see it anyway. I'm
I'm
gonna
not
just
trying to
read it
read
though.
it. Like,
Right, right. Let me see. Um,
uh-oh.
let's try to zoom in some more. All right. Let me see. Yeah, it don't make much of a difference. I'll just read it. I don't know if I'm being petty here, but I feel like I'm not. So my ex-husband remarried and has kids with his wife. She owns a business, and I found out that she makes almost $1 million a year. My ex works, and he gives me around 900 a month in child support for our daughter. But I don't think it's fair.
Ooh.
I told him that it would be nice if he sent me more for my daughter. She said, my daughter. He told me that his wife and his accounts are not together. But honestly, I want to take him and his wife to court to get the max amount I can for my daughter.
That's
I
why you
work
don't
from
do that.
home. I work from home and my and my husband is in the army, but we are struggling. So her new nigga is struggling. Just to get that clear. She must have got what the Walmart got. No, I'm just playing.
See,
Ridiculous.
that's why you don't do that.
No, see, I'm just playing. That was a joke. That was a little joke. It would be nice to have that additional income that my daughter deserves. What do you guys think? So,
That's why you don't have date nobody with no kids. Cause they gonna, and if they do, they got to be rich so they can pay for it themselves. And I ain't got to. Mm-mm. I don't
all
like that.
right.
That's messed up. I would hate that. That would just like burn my. I don't even want to get married anymore. That burned me up. I'm mad for her.
Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. So you mad that he leveled up and got with a chick that's making $1 million?
No, I'm mad that woman gonna ask that lady for her money.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
cool. All right, Brianna, what did you think about what I just read?
um, it's I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that because I mean when you get married, you know they consider you as one, and people have to understand when you get married and the whole child support thing comes about. You know, if you're in that spot who makes the most money, you marry a guy who has less and he's in debt with child support. They coming after you and your coins. So I mean,
Mm,
it's kind of people don't think about stuff like that. Like
Mhm.
they don't think about stuff. They be so in love and infatuated on the fact that I'm in love. Oh my God. But I be thinking about money. I ain't gonna lie to you. I be thinking about money. You know, that's why I want to buy the kids. No shade, but I
Right.
want to buy the kids.
But she already
And
she already
also,
giving her 900 a month for one kid.
is that good for one kid? Oh, for one.
What? 900
Mhm.
almost $1,000 a month for one
Yeah,
child?
that's good. I don't have no kids. Look, I don't want to put my daddy out there like that on how much my mama was getting for child support, but it was nowhere near that. That's pretty nice because I wasn't getting that.
She agreed.
Were you getting less?
But, yeah,
And spiteful. I think she's spiteful.
Were you getting less than 900 a month?
I agree.
I was getting less.
Mhm.
And my dad
Okay.
actually is funny. My dad went to school. He became a mechanic. And my mom was like, I don't want to take him back to work. No, forget that, whatever. And my dad actually leveled up. He was in a whole nother tax bracket, when I got like a little older and stuff. When she could have got more money, she didn't. But anyway, yeah,
Okay.
that's what happened.
King Gene, how you
Yes,
feel
sir.
about what I just read?
Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. Because now look, why is it that she has a fixation with this other woman's money?
Mm-hmm.
It's not her husband's or her ex-husband's money. This lady didn't help to create this child. So why would she go to try to secure some resources that don't belong to her or her husband?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's hard out here. Like I said, when I say it's survival of the fittest, man, like I really mean that. It is survival of the fittest. You know what I'm saying? So I just boy. I think it's funny, man. Like this is why I couldn't personally do it, and I'm not crapping on the women with a bunch of kids and everything like that. I'm not crapping on the dudes. I just, at this point in my life, I just could not see myself taking care of another man's child. I just couldn't. King Gene, when you were dating or when you were with that woman and you helped raise her boys, did you always want to be a stepfather, or did you already had your own kids, right?
No. What had happened was, man, I was in the senior year of college, and me and her met initially, right? We got a little relationship going, and then she left and went to Texas. And when she came back from Texas, she had a surprise for me.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, she had a surprise for me, brother, and it was 2 additional children. So it is what it is, man. But now the thing about it was, we had and we picked up where we left off, man, and then it just went from there. So, but now here's one thing that I like to highlight, man. I looked it up, CJ.
Mm-hmm.
When you talking about raising children from age 0 to 18, you invest $250,000. That's from the U.S. Census Bureau. $250,000 is what you invest. So I had them from age 6 months until they were 15. When they were
Wait
15,
a minute. So wait, hold on. Just so I'm clear, these were not your children.
Oh no,
right?
No, they were not my children.
So she had left, or you had left, or she had left.
She left. We were talking. It wasn't serious though. It wasn't serious. So she decided that she wanted to go to Texas.
Right.
And so she went out to Texas, and the next time I heard from her, like I mentioned, she had a surprise for me, CJ. 2 of them.
6 month twin boys.
Twins. They were 6 months old, and we picked up because man, at the time I'm 23. So we pick up right where we left off.
Boy, she found her a good simp.
Oh, and look, here's the thing, my brother. You see, I ain't fight you now. I ain't gonna fight you on it because that's exactly what she found. Because now, as I got older, I came to understand, man, this is not the place that a man should occupy in his family.
Yeah,
you can't occupy that place.
But I just gotta ask you. I know you're 23 at the time, and we all do crazy stuff when we're young, so I get that part. But what was going through your mind when she came back with not one but 2 other men's kids? from Texas.
Nothing.
And this woman must have been fine as hell. Or she must have had some wop on her, made a go or something, because what would possess you to say, all right, let me take on a serious relationship with this woman after not even 6 months ago, or barely over 6 months, giving birth? Like what was running through your mind at the time? Did you have any friends or maybe your pops or anybody in your life that came to you and said, player, this is not the move?
No, sir. I didn't have it, brother. I didn't have it. And that's the reason why I advocate for men now, because I had nobody around me that said, hey, dog, this ain't it. This ain't it, brother. And I had, like I said, man, but fortunately, it didn't put me in the bind. The whole situation didn't.
Okay.
It didn't put me in the bind because I graduated as an engineer.
Oh boy. Ooh, nigga, she hit the lotto.
But now look, but here's the thing though. Here's the thing I want to emphasize, CJ. Something that a lot of people don't think about. Whenever you come into a situation where someone else has already procreated with the person that you're talking to, and you're trying to get into a relationship with them, and you know, people have said it already. It's not a good move because you can't occupy your natural position in that relationship. You can't. Because now when I get upset and I say, okay, I think it should go this way. They say you don't have any way to control the situation because these are her children.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Nurse Dow, Brianna, how y'all feel about what y'all just heard?
I mean, I think I agree with them. Like basically, like you said, like as a man's role, because you weren't their father and that was part of the family union, you couldn't actively like do all. You couldn't be 100% in that role, and that would mess me up. I wouldn't like that. But that's why I mean, I typically don't date guys. I'm gonna go back to that.
But but I'm sorry, Brianna, my bad. Go ahead. What was you about to say?
Oh no, sorry, y'all. I was listening. But one, I feel bad that he had nobody there to like tell him, like, yo, bro, this not right. You're not supposed to be doing this. But CJ, I do agree with you. That woman did hit the lotto because he graduated as an engineer, and
Hit the lotto,
she
and
knew.
she should have
Like,
been
Where was
doing.
daddy at all this time?
Not trying to snitch, but women
That's what I
know.
was gonna ask next.
Well, here's the thing, you all, and I didn't find this out until the boys were 2.
Mm-hmm.
He had given her money. The way that she got home is he had given her money to get an abortion, and she took the money to get the abortion and came home with it. He didn't want the
Oh my
children.
God.
Oh,
He didn't want them.
Wow.
Ooh.
Tell you, bro, you can't make this up, man. You can't. You
Bro,
can't make it up.
I'm gonna have to chop this clip up. So she took the abortion money from her dude in Texas, and she bought a plane ticket with her kids. It was almost on some runaway slave type stuff.
It was. Give us free.
Okay, so did he end up paying child support? Was he ever active in a children's life?
No, he never was. And look, he didn't become active with him, CJ, until probably about 3 years ago.
mm.
Yeah, probably about. He showed up then.
And how old are the boys now?
They are 15 years old. September they just passed. They turned 15.
Wait, hold up. Wait a minute. So you telling me that a man who gave her money for an abortion didn't want the children. Now he's active in their life, and y'all not together no more, right?
No, we're not.
So what ended up happening to the, I'm not trying to get all in your business, but what ended up happening to where y'all just wasn't rocking?
Like I said, man, and I'm like you all. I'm very busy, man. I stay on the move. So it was easy for her to go elsewhere, and that's exactly what she did.
Well, King Gene, if you need a girlfriend, I am here for you.
I
You
am
know,
here
listen,
for it.
Hey.
listen. You don't want these kind of problems now. You don't want these kind. I'm just gonna tell you.
I can't
I
wait a
am
minute. Hold
here
up, King
for
Gene.
you.
Listen,
Huh?
you better take the you better take the offer wise
Hey, I
there.
think you should get that. She's a redhead. Okay.
Look at you looking.
Listen. I have yet to find the lady that can put up with my work ethic. I look. They just can't do it, man.
King
I
Gene, you
already
doing
Stop.
showed
too
him my
much
hand.
talking
It's
right now.
okay.
You doing
I
too much
am.
talking. You supposed to say, "Here's my plane ticket. Here's your plane ticket to where I'm
Wait,
at." You doing too you doing too much talking. We ain't
here's
Listen,
the
asking
catch.
about
I
none
gotta
of
talk,
that.
but I gotta
King.
work. Look, here's the catch. I don't know.
But
You-
then,
King,
but
I
then
think you
look,
should go
look.
for that, man.
See, CJ, if I do send the plane ticket, then she gonna say, "Well, look, I got to go in today. I ain't got time for this."
oh,
That is
that's,
very true,
that's a good
King
one.
Oh,
That's
G.
see, well, there
But
we there we go
a good
then.
one.
That's
But
You're
it.
right.
no,
Fair
but
enough.
we could work something. Look,
Fair enough. Hey, but I do have a question though. So why did y'all end up? Oh, wait, you said because she ended up looking elsewhere. So with the relationship with the boys, was it? Did you cut it off, or did she say you can't talk to my sons no more? What happened in that area?
Well, what happened, man, was okay. So, uh, around the time when he got back in contact, there was a big to do because they found out their grandparents on her side, on my ex-wife's side, they found out that I was not their father. See, up until that time, they didn't know
Wait, so
because
they
they
didn't tell
always
them this from the beginning? They grew up thinking you were their natural father.
that's all they know. That was the only thing they knew.
She out of pocket for that. But
Yeah.
I feel like both of y'all should have said something because um no way. You not finna put did you sign the birth certificate? Did she
Oh
make
no, I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
Oh, okay. Okay. All
Mm.
right. So so you no longer talk to the boys.
Now, and that's by their choice, man. Like I said, that big to do, that big blow up, it's like you said, CJ. I should have. Let me not say I should have informed them of who their father was. I didn't know the guy, but I could have told them that I wasn't. Uh, and so after they found out that I wasn't their biological father, then all contact with them went out the window. So
So
it is what it is,
they're hurt. To me, it sounds like they're hurt
and I can
because
understand.
a man
hmm,
who were in their lives from the beginning um turns out not to be their father, and they knew that they now know that you knew that, and it's I feel
hmm,
like they'll come back around. You know what I'm saying? Now clearly you built a connection to these boys. I'm sure you love these boys
Of
because
course.
you've raised these boys, and that's only
Mhm.
natural. You know what I'm saying? So
hmm.
I'm sure once they come around, y'all, maybe y'all can have a conversation and everything like that, and you just keep it real with them. Like you didn't, this is adult stuff. Y'all are kids, and you might not be able to talk to them until they're men, because sometimes us as little boys, we don't understand certain things. Some of the and that's why a kid needs to still stay in the kid's place,
Absolutely.
because we don't know, and we two adults, and they don't understand adult issues. So I get that, and I'm hopefully everything turns out um in a positive way. Let me get to some of these comments, and then I'm not gonna keep y'all on here too much more longer. But let's see. Hold on. Let me go back up. Okay. Nurse Jocelyn says, I don't think masculine is the word, but I would say dominant. I guess she's referring to when I said female nurses are masculine, but that is masculine in a
Yeah,
nutshell.
that's a synonym, bro. That's a synonym.
Dominant. So yeah, that's very masculine. Being dominant is a masculine trait. So
It is.
yeah. Um, I have never encountered a bossy male nurse. They are actually chill and laid back. Those women nurses definitely got cursed out a few times. Mm. Uh, Nurse Jocelyn says it's very fair. She is crazy as hell, referring back to the post I read. Didi says, see, that's why I never had no joint accounts, because I ain't paying nobody child support. It ain't my baby. Julia says, my dad paid $100 a month in child support until I turned 16. Didi says,
Hmm.
no way, she will be a single mom. And I'm guess she's talking about your situation, King Gene. She says facts. She dirty. CJ picked a great topic tonight. I appreciate you, player. CJ making a love connection. Anything can happen here. As a person who was adopted
Yes,
at three
I'm
days
here for
old,
it.
um, let's see. She says, as a person who was adopted at 3 days old, that is from a place of hurt, not anger. Um, Julia says, I still love my ex's kids. Rebirth said, I hate getting here late, but we out here, fam. Hey, man, you can always chime in, bro. I put the link right in the description. Put it right in the comment. Oh, shoot, that ain't it. Let me get rid of that. But yeah, so that's tough. Julia said he still love his ex's kids, and that's another thing too. What I would think, once you spend so much time with an individual and their children, you have no choice. I mean, it's gonna happen. You're gonna grow some sort of attachment. I mean, that's just human. But yeah, man, I just try to avoid that altogether if possible. And again, I don't mean to crap on the people with kids, but I can't do it. Cannot do it. So, this has been a fun show, fun topic. Nurse Dial, Brianna, anything y'all want to add? I can't hear you. Say it one more time.
No, so far it was good.
Nurse Dial, we gonna have to get you some high value Wi-Fi. You frozen. What's going on? Uh-oh. Yeah, I think her connection. She'll probably try to chime back in. All right, King Gene, would you ever date a woman with a kid again?
No. No, sir.
Not happening. Can't
Can't
go
do
through
it,
that
brother.
again. What if she was thorough? Let me make a slight case for the women with
Go
children.
ahead. Mm-hmm.
What if now? I have to play devil's advocate. Not all women come with that mess. You dig? Not all women with children that come with that mess, and not all women that have children have drama. You do have some women that were married or that were in long-term situations, and maybe the significant other passed away. Are there exceptions to the rule?
I would say yeah, rationally yeah. But now here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I learned by trial and error, my brother, is if there is not a setup where the respect is first, if they're not willing to come under the authority of the new head of the household, we can't do anything. We can't do it.
That's true. That's true. You're an engineer, got a nice career. If there are any single mothers watching and they want a man who is making decent money, what is your advice to them?
Well, I can't say anything different from what you've been saying.
Mm-hmm.
Be his peace, and most of all, man, a lot of times the only thing that a guy is mostly looking for is just like Kevin Samuels said, that's just some cooperation. If there are difficulties that have to be handled, we can do that together. If we can cooperate.
Right. Well, I think that is a extremely interesting situation. Hold on, I just gotta. Okay, yeah. Nurse Dow had to log off, but she said, "Good night to everybody." Let me see this comment. Didi said, "My mama said some kids come in your life for a season. It's not the time, but the lessons you taught them." And I would be not right if I didn't say I have a stepfather. I do. And my stepfather is a good man. And he came into my life at a young age, I believe 5 years old. So, but that wasn't his responsibility. As a man, as an adult male who has no children, who used to be out here in the dating scene, if my stepfather chose not to deal with my mother because she had another man's child, I would understand that. This man was not he was not obligated to do so, but it's a rare situation to where my mom wasn't about the BS. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't about the BS. She had one child, and my father, my biological father was and is very active in my life. So she wasn't looking for a father to her, another father. Now, by default, he's going to become my stepdad. And because we are living in the same household, then automatically I'm going to get some of the resources that just came with the territory. But it was never to a point to where it made it like I'll say this: my stepfather never made me feel like I was anything less than his child. Um, he always treated me as, and I do look at him as my dad. I was fortunate enough to where I have two fathers. You know what I'm saying? Because he did come in my life at an early age. He never, because I don't call my stepdad dad, but he never made it a big deal. And that's one of the things I probably respect about him the most is that he never forced me or tried to force me to call him dad. He was just always all right, I'm back. I don't know what happened. Um, I don't know what happened. That was weird. That was weird. But anyway, well, I guess that's a sign that I need to wrap it up and get to school, get to doing my schoolwork. But ladies and gentlemen, it has been a great show. I'm sorry about what happened at the last minute, but that's what happens when you go live. Um, my name is CJ Kyle, so I appreciate y'all tuning in. It has been a phenomenal show. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Great show. Next week, stay tuned. Um, King, I appreciate. I don't know what happened, bro. I don't know what happened. I guess it was a connection. But next week, y'all, I really want y'all to tune in because I have some people coming on the platform, and we're going to continue part 2 of this pretty privileged conversation because the video that I did last week has been getting a lot of traction. Um, some people liked what I had to say. Some people didn't like what I had to say. So I am excited to continue this pretty privileged conversation. Um, and it's been really interesting too. So I'm excited. I have a few people coming on that should be very good. Nurse Dow says that she can come back, and we are going to talk about the pretty privileged discussion. Hopefully I can get all y'all back to tune in. King Gene, you are more than welcome to come back. But I guess I can give my final thoughts. Shout out to Rebirth EDU. Shout out to you, homie. But I guess I can give my final thoughts on the conversation. You know how I gotta get serious now. When it comes to dating, King says he'll be back. Hey, that's what's up. I would love to have you back on the panel. So, and actually, King, send me an email too. so we can chop it up. Send me an email, cjkyles90@gmail.com. cjkyles90@gmail.com. Send me an email. We'll chop it up, and I'll give you more in-depth things that I want to discuss. But anyway, as far as dating the women with kids and raising another man's child is concerned, for me, it's all about your situation at the end of the day. Whether you choose to do it or not, that's up to you. You just need to be careful in any decisions you are going to make, because you are not only involving you and a significant other, you are also involving young children. And I think it's very important to acknowledge the fact that those children are not yours. As much as we like to say that, oh, I'm going to be a great step parent, blah, 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 they still not yours at the end of the day. They're not. And I know if I had children and if I was the one who had to, deal with my ex getting with somebody, getting remarried, getting back with a person, whatever the case may be, they could not discipline my kid. They could not touch my kid, especially if I had a daughter. It's not going to happen. So that's why I think it is just better for me as a person to not deal with it, because that's just not where I am. That has been this episode of the First Heartbeat with CJ Kyles. Man, this thing is growing. I appreciate y'all. We are almost at 1,100 subscribers, y'all. We growing, man. We gonna get to 1 million. We gonna get to 1 million one day. Watch. Y'all watch. Y'all. I told y'all this. July 9th, 2021 at 10:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to get to 1 million subscribers one day. So until next time, boys and girls, I'll holler at y'all in a minute. Peace.